Well, the A-League Grand Final is on this Sunday with Brisbane Roar up against Perth Glory at Lang Park. Brisbane is aiming for back-to-back titles, and joining us now from Brisbane is Roar coach Ange. Good morning, Ange. Thanks for joining us. How are the nerves?
Morning, Guy. Yeah, no, it's all good. I kind of enjoy this week. You tend to appreciate grand finals, so I'm sure the nerves will crank up closer to game day. But yeah, I kind of enjoy grand final weeks, and certainly it's better being part of it than not.
How does it differ to your normal week?
Oh, I guess there's just a lot more commitments for everyone. It's been a little bit of an unusual one this week. Usually grand final week's just about the grand final. We had a game in the Champions League on Tuesday night, so that kind of cut the week a little bit shorter, and I guess was a welcome distraction for the players. When we kind of knew 2 weeks ago we were in the grand final, so time can drag. So it's gone pretty quickly, but certainly a lot more commitments, and people want to talk about the grand final wherever you go, and I guess that means the game's always foremost in your mind.
How does the team compare to this time last year when you'd gone through the season undefeated going into that grand final that became one of the most memorable matches in Australian history?
Certainly was. Look, it was just one of those extraordinary years. As you said, we were kind of carrying a lot of momentum going to that grand final, and it was almost inevitable we win, even though we left it very, very late, as everyone knows. This year, a little bit of a different challenge. We didn't catch anyone by surprise. Everyone knew that, we were going to be a team to beat again, and it provided some different challenges for us, and certainly during the middle of the year, we struggled a little bit. We had a 5-game losing streak that set us back a bit, but since then I think we've learned from that, and if anything I think there's a real tougher resilience amongst the group now. They've been through some tough times for us, and come through it okay, and we find ourselves in another grand final, so I'm sure we'll give a good account of ourselves.
Now, we had Steve Horvath on the couch earlier, and he spoke of the need to shut down Shane Smeltz. What have you got planned for the Kiwi star?
Yeah, look, Shane's in a great deal of good form at the moment, and with goal scorers, it usually happens that way. You kind of hope they don't hit form just before you play them. So he has been scoring a lot of goals. But I think that the key to Perth Glory is they've been really solid and stable for the last 8 to 10 weeks. Their form, probably along with ours, has been the best in the competition. It's no surprise to see them there. So I don't think it's a matter of focusing on just one player. And I guess from our point of view, anyone who's watched us play, we tend to be pretty proactive in the way we go about things, and really try to be an attacking type of team, and we'll be no different on Sunday. Our whole sort of focus will be making sure that we get on the front foot, and we kind of dominate the game in the areas we want to.
Now, your players have said the speculation that you will coach Melbourne Victory next season is an unwanted distraction. How are you managing the distraction so that it doesn't affect performances on Sunday?
Well, there's no evidence that it's affecting performances up till now. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of speculation, but the players really only have to deal with it when they have to do a press conference every day. And aside from that, I think that they pretty much know that, when the grand final's at your doorstep, you've got no time to think about anything else, and certainly I'm not. And the players, as I said, there's no evidence that it's affecting them. I guess people will continue to speculate until something's definite one way or another. But from our point of view, all our energies, everything we think about is about Sunday.
Oh, now, Ange, you've worked in the media. You know that there's no end to media speculation, and you're also no stranger to the ABC studios here, where you've been a regular on Offsiders. So next season, we'd like to invite you onto the couch more often, and we've even managed to find some wardrobe items that that perhaps you could be wearing next season. What are the chances of wearing the Melbourne Victory scarf next year?
Look, that's a very creative way of trying to get me to say something that I'm not going to. So, no, look, I understand that people's fascination with it, and I understand that, like I said, until something's said definitively, I guarantee you one thing: I will be in the ABC studio, but what I'll be wearing, I'll leave that till time comes.
So, not ruling anything in or out there, Ange?
No. Look, I think, as I've said to the players many a time, we live in a funny industry, and my philosophy has always been never to look too far ahead. As a coach, sometimes, your future's not even in your own hands. You get a tap on the shoulder when you least expect it. So I've never looked too far ahead in my coaching career. I've tried to do the best I can in the job I've got, and then, it was a similar situation last year. I'll sit down when the dust settles and talk through all the different things, scenarios with people, and come to a decision.
How similar is it to the situation last year? Certainly Steve Horvath spoke about that as well, saying that it's very reminiscent of the place you were in last year with speculation about the victory job.
Yeah, look, I guess, as I said, that's kind of position I hold, and you know, it goes both ways, I guess. When you're not successful, there's always speculation about when you're going to get the bullet, and I think when you are successful, you know, there's always going to be people who are speculating as to whether you move on somewhere else. You know, my own, you know, as I said many times, my own sort of thinking on these things has always been that you deal with what's at hand first, and at the moment, you know, grand final, if people think I'm spending even a second of the day thinking of anything other than that, they just don't know me too well. You know, they don't come around too often. I've got a pretty good run in grand finals, haven't lost one yet, and I've watched losing grand final teams, and it's a feeling I don't want, so that's all I'll be thinking about.
Why will you win on Sunday?
Oh, look, if you look at our form, particularly since Christmas, I think we've only lost one game, and we've been playing some really good football. I think we're back to the kind of football that we were playing earlier in the year, and being at home at Lang Park, 50,000 people, you know, of which I think 49,000 will be wearing orange, certainly helps. And the players feel really good about this. As I said, last year there wasn't much really for me to do. They were riding this massive wave of momentum. This year they've been through a tough time, and they've found that, you know, even through a tough time we can find ways to get back to winning in tough games. And if you look at our record recently, we've done well in the big games, and Sunday's certainly a big game. And you know, I think if we start well, I think we'll be hard to stop.
Ange, thank you very much for your time, and don't forget, we've got the scarf here waiting for you in a few months' time.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done, Guy.
But always a difficult situation for coaches with speculation about their future, and yeah, so kind of between a rock and a hard place there as to how he answers the questions, and unfortunately, when there's not that ultimate denial or rebuttal, then it just feeds the speculation.
Some advice there for other coaches: if you don't want speculation, finish right in the middle of the ladder. Thanks very much, guys.